A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GETI Live talk session after your lunch break. Well, my name is Shilpi, and I am the relationship manager with the Global Education and Training Institute. Today, I have Miss Bincy M. John, who's the principal of Seventh Day Adventist Senior Secondary High School in Tiruvalla, Kerala, and she is going to speak about like is emotional intelligence be the goal of modern education. So, ma'am, welcome to our show and thank you for joining in the disruptive education movement started by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. Well, ma'am, you have had experience of more than 21 years in the field of education.
Yes,
And, you began as a teacher, and today you are at this post of being a principal for the past 8 years. So I
yes,
believe thousands and thousands of students must have, been under your guidance for a very long time. And you've also been to Maldives for, a project which was the professional development of teachers. So, I would like you to now throw some light on this very important topic because you are the best person after 21 years, 20 decades of being into education. How has it, there has been a transformation and a transition in this field from just studying about subjects and studying about technology. There is no, now the focus is on emotional development of children, the EQ. So, ma'am, the platform is yours, and you're right. Go.
thank you, Ms. Shilpi Srivastava, for your wonderful introduction that you have given me, and a very good afternoon to all of you. And I was given a task to take a small talk on emotional intelligence. That is, shall the development of emotional intelligence be one of the goals of modern education? As we all know, academic qualifications or technical competencies or professional skills are no longer the key for getting success nowadays, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, because we all are worried about the changes that is happening in this world. And success has to be defined in the terms of being a happy or leading a harmonious life by being happy. And earlier, we know success was defined in terms of living a luxurious life. But now, in the present scenario, we know that successful person is a person who is happy and living a harmonious life in this world. That is the present situation. But now we know that for that we all need to develop to manage our intelligence, especially the emotional intelligence, and that is the topic which I want to deal with each one of you. And it will be nice if you share the screen now. And emotional intelligence is also called as emotional quotient and emotional intelligence quotient. In these three names, it is being known. And we all know it is a capacity or ability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and those of others also. Ma'am, will you please share the screen for me? And the students or the person with emotional intelligence should be able to discern between different types of feelings, and they should be able to give names to each of those different feelings. That is, they should be able to label them appropriately. And that is the thing which when we mean about emotional intelligence. So we'll be discussing about shall the development of emotional intelligence be one of the goals of modern education. So next, please, next screen. uh, and this emotional intelligence, if you know, there are various types of models were developed by various psychologists and educationists. And we are not even though we are not dealing with all those models, it says that all the models of emotional intelligence says that it enables a person to keep a feeling of oneness with others. That is the thing. That is, recognize, it makes the individuals capable of recognizing their own emotions, discern between different feelings and label them appropriately, use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, and adjust emotions to adapt to the environments. And it says that these will help not only that particular person, because of his dealings with the other people, the other person also becomes comfortable if we are having contact or acquaintance with a person with a high emotional intelligence. And when we look into the term emotional intelligence, even though it appeared in 1964, it gained its popularity only by 1995. But in the book called Emotional Intelligence, this is written by Daniel Goleman, and he defined emotional intelligence as the array of skills and characteristics that develop leadership performance. So, emotional intelligence is very necessary for the present day students, because in this world of chaos, they need to have a sense of keeping quiet and tolerance in order to become, or in order to emerge their character, or in order to emerge as a good leaders of the world to come. So it is emotional intelligence as the are the collection of skills and characteristics that drive leadership performances in students. Next slide. So now we'll see this emotional intelligence. It involves three or four main things. That is emotional literacy. Emotional literacy means recognizing our own feelings and the feelings of others. Then it involves managing emotions. That is being able to control your emotions effectively. According to the changing situations, we have to control our emotions effectively. Then developing empathy, that is understanding and sharing the feelings of others. It's not sympathy. We know sympathy and empathy are different. Empathy means being as the other person, or taking oneself into the place of another person. So we have the emotional intelligence involves developing empathy. And it involves intrinsic motivation also, that is pushing yourself to meet the goals that you haven't set. So it gives us an insight, or it gives us a special insight that we should set our own goals which we haven't yet set. Okay, so these are some of the things which we in emotional intelligence is being involved. And it says that an individual with high EQ or emotional quotient is able to communicate better, and they will be able to lessen the stress. Okay, they will be having good relationship with their classmates also. So this emotional intelligence is very essential in this modern day education system. Ma'am, next slide. And next, we will deal with the Goldman's five elements of emotional intelligence. I told you earlier, it is Daniel Goldman's book, Emotional Intelligence, written in 1995, which gave popularity to this term, emotional intelligence. He has developed five elements, or framework of five elements that define emotional intelligence. They are self-awareness. Just I have told you, emotional intelligence involves four things, I told you: emotional literacy, managing emotions, developing empathy, intrinsic motivation. The same thing is being developed by Goldman, and he says that there are five elements. Self awareness, that is, people with high emotional intelligence, they understand their emotions. Because of that, they don't let their feelings rule them, and they don't let their emotions to go out of control also. So that is self awareness, one of the element of emotional intelligence. A person with high emotional intelligence will be having this trait of self awareness. Then the second one is self regulation. That means this is the ability to control emotions and impulses also. And they don't allow them to become too angry or jealousy, or they don't make too much fuss, and they will not take careless decisions also. That means self regulation implies that they will think before acting, and they are thoughtful and always open to change, flexible, and they are assertive also. And the third thing is motivation. Third element is motivation. According to Goldman, he says that uh, a person with high emotional intelligence will be willing to put off immediate results for long term success. That is, they are highly productive. They will think of their final result, and they are effective in whatever. They don't get into a mess, and to in order to gain popularity, they will not try to get into a mess. They will wait for the long term better result. That is motivate. Uh, they will be that is they will be motivated by themselves. They have a motivation within themselves that they should have a good outcome in the long run. That's what it means. Then the fourth element is empathy. Empathy is the ability to identify and understand the wants, needs, and viewpoints of those around you. I have told you sympathy is different from empathy. Sympathy will just show that we care for them, but empathy means we are being a part of, we consider ourselves as one among them. And when people are having this element in their character, they avoid stereotyping, and they won't judge too quickly, and their lives are very open, and they will be leading a honest life also. So we want our students to lead a life which is being open to all, and there should not be any sort of discrepancies in their life. So every teacher or every educational institution aims their students to be, especially we in the case of empathy, we all ask our students to practice that trait in their life. And the fifth element is social skills. That is, those with strong EI will be having strong social skills, that is helping others to develop and shine. Not only that, they will be helping others also to develop in their life. They can manage disputes, they can become good leaders, they can be they have problem solving ability, and they are excellent communicators also. And they will be able to maintain social relationship, that is social skills. Okay, so this Daniel Goleman, through these five elements, it says that a person who is having these five traits in their character, they will be they are the best leaders, they are the best people in this world who will be able to lead a happy and harmonious life. So our students, the students of present day, they have to practice, or they should be taught to have these characteristic traits in their life, so that they can have a harmonious and peaceful life. And that is what the elements of emotional intelligence according to uh, Daniel Goleman. Ma'am, please, next slide. And what are the role of teachers in building an emotionally intelligent generation? It says that the teacher, himself or herself, should have high emotional intelligence. Without having high emotional intelligence, a teacher cannot teach their students to have that intelligence, or teach the students to develop emotional intelligence. So here, some tips for teachers to develop emotional intelligence is being given over here. That is, teachers have to evaluate themselves. You have to evaluate yourself. You examine your assets and limitations, and accept that we are not perfect. Okay, and we have to look into ourselves honestly, and make corrections wherever we need to make. Then the next one is express yourself. That is, always show gratitude to people who help you, appreciate people around you, and please don't try to flatter people around. Okay, and convey your disappointments all on a sudden, or you can convey your disappointments politely, and without hurting others feelings. Okay, that is expressing yourself. If we do that, we all are having a high emotional intelligence. Then be empathetic. That is, we have to reach out to people, how your actions and reactions should affect others. That is, we have to mingle with others, then only we will be able to put ourselves into their place, and we will be able to understand their needs. And that can happen in classroom situation also, if we ourselves be empathetic. Then the teachers ought to be learn to be assertive. That is, it is important that you know how to say no without hurting others. Okay. And we all know that on this universe we all are depending upon others. We cannot do everything by ourselves, so we have our own limitations, and we don't overburden ourselves also. So we should be able to say no without hurting others, because we should be learn to take those things which we can handle. So we have to accept our limitations. That is the meaning. Then we have to, a teacher should think rationally. That is, do not over generalize things. That is, students should not be given it's okay to make mistakes, but we should not ask our students, or we should not make our students to do the things, that is, you must do that, you should do that. You should not say like that. So we should think rationally. There is no 100% perfect things in this world. So whatever happens, we can agree with the opinions and suggestions of others also. That is thinking rationally, that without overgeneralizing things, we should avoid shoulds and must, and we should see that it is okay that sometimes mistakes can happen. Okay. Then be altruistic. That is, help people in need, and be pro-social also. Then a teacher should maintain a positive attitude. That is, no matter how miserable the circumstances are, and it we know it is only temporary, it will not go it's not permanent. So always be positive, and think that their situations can change. We can change our attitude, and that can lead to changes in our situations also. And if we cannot be there's a saying, if you cannot be optimistic, at least don't get pessimistic. Okay. That is, at least don't get pessimistic. That is, we should always keep a positive attitude and be optimistic in our life. Then learn the art of unconditional love and acceptance. It says that we have to understand all human beings, and all are having some innate good characters, and we should not judge people others. Okay. So always try to extend our love, compassion and care for others, and that should happen in a classroom situation also. Students should be given unconditional love, and each child has to be accepted as what they are. And the final tip for a teacher to develop emotional intelligence is socialize, make friends, give some time with your hobbies, and spend time with your family also. So, if a teacher is able to have these qualities, or is having these qualities in their life, surely that teacher maintains a high emotional intelligence, which he or she can transmit it to the students in the classroom. Ma'am, please next slide. So, uh, coming to the promotion of, or transmitting emotional intelligence in classroom, the famous psychologist Albert Bandura, he says that children learn best by observing the elders. That is, they observe the parents, they observe the teachers, they observe the society, and they learn from each one of us. So, as teachers, if we develop our emotional intelligence, definitely the students, by mere observation, they will be able to learn more intelligently, and they will be developing emotional intelligence in their lives also. So now we'll see some tips for promoting emotional intelligence in the classroom. Ma'am, next slide. So just now I told you the students learn by observation. So if a teacher comes to the class and behaves positively, all the students who are having that influence in their life will automatically show that characteristic traits in their lives also. Here are some tips for promoting emotional intelligence in classroom by a teacher. That is, show respect for individual child's feeling. That is, and remember that his negative feelings and indications are because of some unrest or because of some problems either in their life or in their family or in the classroom situation. So the teacher has to think that problems within the child may be due to some external pressure. So always respect a child's feeling inside the classroom. This can develop a sort of emotional intelligence in the part of students. Then do not label your students negatively. That is, avoid shoulds and avoid subjective labels. That is, you should do that, you should not do that, why did you do that, you should write it. That should, when we use that word should, the students, they will feel awkward, they will be horror filled, and they will be fearing the teacher instead of loving the teacher. So do not label our students negatively. Then it's a suggestion. Instead of calling them students, if we call them as children, that will be more appealing and pleasing. That is another way of promoting emotional intelligence. Students will feel ease, and they will feel good to adjust with the classroom situation. Then we have to help the children to label their feelings properly. That is, we have to teach them wide range of feeling words, and talk about feelings and ask them how they feel, and teach them how they can feel. And we have to show sympathy and empathy also, and tell them that we care for them. So whatever the feelings that comes to their mind, they should be able to express it. If they are not okay, they should say that we are not feeling good. And whatever feeling comes to their mind, they should be able to express it. So we have to help the children for that. Okay. Then reassure the students that it is okay to be honest about their feelings. We have to give a free situation in the classroom, so that the students will express their feelings without any hesitation. That is, if they feel hurt, if they feel revengeful or vengeful, they should try to suppress it, and they have to convey that to the teacher, and let the other children know that this their peer has been hurt because of the feeling or the dealings of the peer group or the teacher. So the students have to be given the assurance that they should express their feelings honestly. Then another tip for teacher to help the students to emotionally develop to help the children to develop their emotional intelligence is to support their individual needs. That is, they should uplift their talents, potentials, and interests, and give them ample opportunity to express them. And some students, they will, their need is to express their talents. We have to give that. Okay. So the teacher, by allowing the students to express themselves, we are actually supporting their individual needs also. Then the teacher should lighten up the tensions within the classroom. For that, the teacher occasionally can use some joke, say some jokes, and create a humorous situation in the classroom, so that the tension can be lessened. Then it says that don't add to their pain, stress, discomfort, and fear by trying to control their behavior by saying that, oh, you look at me and look into my eyes while I'm talking. If we say that, the students are artificially made to behave and sit uh, in a controlled manner, but that gives stress and strain and also fear from to the part of students. So we should not add by giving commands, by giving rash controlling orders and all. So we have to talk to them patiently, give them advices, and we have to take care of the children without giving much strain. And the last one is that keep a check on your language. There are different ways of dealing with the students. That is, if we say that I'm confused about why you are doing your work, that creates a stress in the mind of student. Instead of, if we say that, oh, I think you are so lazy. So see that easing of language. Children will be much comfortable when we say that you are being so lazy these days. That the child understands himself. And there is another one. I feel bad when I see you take things from others without asking. So instead of saying that, we can say that I am afraid you must be losing your friendship with others. So if that is being spoken to them, or if we say like that, the child will understand, oh, it can hinder my friendship with others. So there are different ways of expressing our concern for them. Instead of scolding, we can use simple languages. Okay, we have to keep a check on our language while dealing with the students. So these are some of the tips, simple tips which we can use by the teacher in a classroom. Then the next, it says how emotional intelligence benefit students. It says that emotional intelligence can benefit students by they will be able to communicate better because they are stress free, and they know how to adjust with others, and their jealousy, happiness, anger, everything will be controlled, and they will be able to communicate what they feel and make others also comfortable. Then a student can will be able to keep a check on their emotions better. That is, when a student has good emotional intelligence, he can cope up with this competitive world. That is, they will be able to face toughest circumstances, and they will adjust with the people with of different nature and temperament. And it says that they can control their emotions and take practical decisions at any time. That is keeping a check on their emotions better. Then this can benefit a student to be empathetic to others around them. That is, they will help each others, and they will help each peers or the friends in the classroom, and later on in their life they will sympathize and empathize with others, and they will be becoming good persons in the future. And they can be setting themselves as the perfect example to the society and to the family also. Then they become more confident learners. That is, by reducing stress, they can excel in the studies also. When students do their studies, if they are stressful, that will not be their cognitive level will be lessened or lowered. And here, when they reduce the stress, they become more confident learners. Then their students can build new relations, that is social skills. That is, they can build new relations in a better way. They can blend well with friends and to study in the new environment also. They can exchange the thoughts and ideas with each other, and they can have a bond, good relationship with the students, co-students in the classroom. So emotional intelligence benefit the students. It says that students who lack emotional intelligence, they become less connected to school, and they will be performing negatively in the classroom because they have stress. They are not confident, they are not keep having a good relation with others. They don't know how to express their feelings, or they don't know what they feel. So when, if a student with high EQ is having high EQ, they excel in overall performances in the studies and in the schools. Ma'am, next slide. So, coming to the qualities of highly emotional intelligent students, says that they are positive. I told you about the tips or the teachers, the qualities of teachers, and that is now being transmitted to the students. The students learn by observation, and now the students with high emotional intelligence are positive. They are positive and they find a solution to problem rather than crying for the same, and they do not complain any situation. Then they know the people very well, and they will know the nature and character of people around. They will understand what the others are also feeling, because they know their feelings and they identify their feelings. They are it says that there are only few people in this world who is able to identify their feelings, and we, the educational institution, as teachers and educators, we should uh, teach our students to identify their teachers. So a highly emotionally intelligent student will be able to identify their feelings. They accept changes also, and they will welcome the changes in the school, offices, and also they gain success. Now we know the students have accepted the changes because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Now they are studying through the online classes, and they have lost all the real classroom experiences, but now they have accepted changes. And there are few students, even though they complain, most of them, they have accepted the change and now coping up with the change, or the new situation. So a student with high emotional intelligence, they sets limits, that they can say yes and no in no very clearly in the situation. They will not take up everything and mix up everything and create problems. If it is positive or negative, they will answer well and try to convince people about their behaviors. That is setting limits. Then they improve their weakness and know their strength also. And students with high emotional intelligences, they will be knowing the strength and they will be trying to improve, and they understand the weaknesses also, and they will try to rectify and improve that weakness, in make convert that weakness into a strength in their life. Then they make everything interesting, whether it is office work or whether it is mathematics homework or at some other subjects. They will be not they will be turning it into fun and learning. Learning is fun. Sometimes if you make learning a fun, it will make the student to grasp it very easily. So they will try to put every situation into fun and enjoy, and they make the thing interesting, and they will be able to grasp this thing which they have to study. Such people, they do every task with interest, and they create positive atmosphere, create a positive energy in the classroom. So we can identify such students in the classroom if they have these traits, and they avoid comparison also. They comparison, usually it makes students sad. No two people are alike. Even the identical twins are not alike, not the same. So if we compare them, it creates some sadness. But students with high emotional intelligence, they will not compare them with others. They know who they are, what they are, what is their capacity, what are their weaknesses, what are the strengths, and all these things. So they will not be comparing with others, and they will be satisfied and contented with their little achievement. So these are the qualities of highly emotionally intelligent students in the classroom situation. Ma'am, next slide. Now, coming to our question, shall the development of emotional intelligence be one of the goals of modern education? You might have understood why, without any further discussion or without any further a second thought, we can say that emotional intelligence should be one of the goals of modern education. That is, a teacher with a strong emotional intelligence will be able to maintain best possible relation with the students. And it says that the teacher will be having that self awareness, emotional control, motivated. The teacher will be showing empathy and having social skills, and that will surely help the teacher to have a good relation with the students. And it says that emotional intelligence developed in children at school, it provides a foundation for future habits in their life also. So in schools, it is in the schools that we have to train the students to have a good emotional intelligence, and that will be uh, reflected in their life later on. And there's a saying by God Himself says that train up the child in the way he should go, and he will not depart from it when he is old. That means we have to give the proper training, not only in all the other spheres. We multiple intelligence. There are mathematical skills, social skills, different intelligences are there, and one of the major one is emotional intelligence. And we have to give due stress in school level, from school level, so that the students can have a good habits in their future life also. Then the students with higher emotional intelligence displays fewer physical and lesser social anxiety and depression. And they had greater use of active coping strategy for problem solving and less rumination also. So students should be taught to have higher emotional intelligence in their life. Then studies have shown that some students, when they were exposed to stressful laboratory tasks, those students who have higher emotional intelligence, they perceive these stressful situation as less threatening, because they don't compare with others, they take things easily, they learn things interestingly, they make things fun, they learn things in a humorous way, they make learning funny. And they saw that, they see that these stressful laboratory tasks were now converted to easy things, and they were less threatening. Ma'am, next slide. And some suggestions given by the psychologist is that student, if we give or due importance for promoting emotional intelligence in school level, in the modern education level, students with high emotional intelligence have greater ability to manage their emotions and can cope up with them in the daily life. That's what we have just mentioned earlier. Then emotional intelligence may act as a moderator to the effect of cognitive skills upon students' academic performance also. When a sound mind in a sound body, if that means mind and body is connected. Similarly, our emotions and our students' cognitive skills, everything are connected. So when they are free and stress free, happy, and ease in an ease situation, it is easy for them to learn. Their cognitive skills will be developed faster. And coming to the low EI students, they says that they are mostly involving in self destructive behaviors, and these are the students who often bully in the classroom. They experience depression, they get into illegal drug activities, alcohol and cigarette addictions, and all. So a great uh, opposite impact is there, is seen in those students who are having lower emotional, that is, they are not able to control their emotions. If they are having some urge to do something wrong, instead of controlling their emotions, they will be just getting into that their want. So that means emotionally the students should be made stable by helping them to develop higher emotional intelligence in their life. Ma'am, next slide. And conclusion, it says that emotional intelligence programs in every educational institution should be established, which explicitly include the highest emotional skills based on the ability of the students to perceive, understand, and regulate emotions. And it says that the studies, many studies, they have it shows that people with high emotional intelligence have greater mental health, job performance, and leadership skills. And it says that it is typically associated with empathy, and they are connected with personal experiences with others. We care for others. An emotionally intelligent student care for others, and that person will do nothing to harm others. It can be a teacher, a parent, the society, the peers, the siblings, or whoever comes into their contact. They will not be hurt by the cooperation, association, or mingling of an emotionally intelligent person. And these are the needs, or these are the reasons why it is stressed that there is the need for introducing emotional intelligence as one of the goals of modern education program. And thank you so much. I uh, think that you have uh, come to my lecturing, and you have come to the point that emotional intelligence as one of the modern uh, as one of the goals of modern education. And thank you so much for listening patiently to my lecture. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for elaborating on this topic. And so, my question would be, how can emotional intelligence, an increase in the emotional quotient of a child, benefit him in the studies also?
That is, emotional intelligence will help the student to study, because they are, just now I told you that they will not take anything so serious and so tedious, and they will view the learning situation, make it simple, and they will try to alleviate all sorts of fear and horror in the classroom by making the classroom situation so congenial with the teacher and the student. They will be coping up, when they are asked to express their feelings freely. So in
Yeah.
the classroom itself, they are clearing out the doubts. They express if they don't understand, and that can help them to learn more and better, and they can tap more resources from the teachers itself.
Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. So hope
Thank
to
you.
see you in the near future again with another interesting topic. But thank
Thank
you
you,
once
ma'am.
again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.